You both said today that you love each other, and I believe it, but I'm trying to tell you, love is not enough for a successful marriage. There's so many other things that go in it. It's not just about you anymore.
Here is today's case.
My boyfriend Zachary is allowing his family to ruin our relationship, and I'm over it.
Adrian thinks my family is ruining our relationship, but it's his attitude.
Zachary kicked me out 2 weeks ago, and he won't give me back my dog.
My boyfriend Adrian is a drama queen.
Judge Faith, talk some sense into him before he loses the best thing that ever happened to him.
Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Your Honor, as you know, for the first time in divorce court, we have a virtual audience, and it's filled with your superfans. Today's superfan of the day is Keith from Oahu, Hawaii.
Hi, Keith. Welcome to Divorce Court. We're so happy to have you with us today.
Your Honor, today's case is Cuevea versus De Silva.
Thank you, Juan. Mr. Adrian Cuevea.
Yes, Your Honor.
You have brought Zachary De Silva
Yes, Your Honor.
to court today. You are suing for the return of your dog.
Yes, Your Honor.
I understand the two of you have been in a relationship for a few years.
Yes.
You recently moved out of the place that the two of you were living in together, right?
Correct.
Okay, why don't you give me some background, sir?
Quite frankly, I'm fed up with the back and forth at home. He basically didn't want to put up with me trying to set rules in the house, kicked me out about 2-3 weeks ago. Since then, I haven't been able to go in or out to pick up my belongings. My clothes is there, you know, my essentials that I use, but most importantly, my dog Tika, which I am in love with. She helps me emotionally. She helps me get through. And he just does not want to give me the dog back, and that's really causing us to not get along to try and fix the situation.
What's going on, Mr. De Silva?
So I'm just tired of being nagged all the time. I just want to come home and have peace and quiet because I just work all the time, and I want to be able to come home and relax with my man, and he doesn't ever let that happen.
So, Mr. Cuevea, you say there have been a couple of things that have happened because the two of you moved in together about 1.5 years ago?
Yes.
Yes.
And you said since you moved in, the relationship completely changed.
Yes.
What happened exactly? Give me some examples of what you're talking about.
So yes, he's been acting strange, acting like he's hiding something. There was actually one instance where he and I made an appointment to go see a barber that I introduced him to. He made an appointment. I couldn't make it that day. However, I did come home later that day, and he was just smiling from ear to ear, so excited about his haircut, kept telling me how the barber was complimenting him, then told me that he asked him to be in a photo shoot for as a hair model.
What's the issue with that?
Well, this is my man, and I really feel like the barber intruded by asking him to be in something where he has to show basically, you know, his face and
his face and his hair. You have a problem with that in a photo shoot?
I definitely do. If it's my man and it's my barber, it's like find your own barber, or my barber could have used me. Because at this point, I feel like you're choosing my man.
Maybe he don't like your hair
over
like
me.
that.
Well, maybe he just doesn't need to cut our hair anymore, and that's why I don't allow him to go to that barbershop.
But I don't know about that, Mr. Cuevea. You think your barber was trying to make a move on Mr. De Silva by asking him to be in a photo shoot?
He doesn't trust me enough to the point where he came and while I was getting my hair cut. And then he just comes barging in, yelling at me, trying to say that I'm flirting with the guy. Like,
so he confronts you right in the barbershop
in front of everybody else.
Yes, I did,
Everybody else was staring at us.
I
It was
did.
a big scene. I was so embarrassed.
Why'd you do that?
Well, because I'm expecting a haircut to take an hour max. I go there, his haircut's done. He's sitting there having a grand old conversation, acting all jolly with this barber. I don't trust barbers. Yes,
but you trusted him enough to send him there and start getting his hair cut. So he's going to the barber on a regular basis, and you barge in and make a scene because you think he's flirting with him now?
Yes, obviously there was flirting.
Have you been back to the barber since?
No.
I'm not
Nope,
surprised.
Your Honor.
What else is going on, Mr. Cuevea?
He's been taking long coming home. He takes about 45 minutes to about 60 minutes to get home. There's been multiple occasions where he takes about 90 to 120 minutes. So I know for a fact that he's making a pit stop before he comes home.
So according to your schedule, your time schedule that Mr. De Silva is on, there could be no other factors or circumstances involved in him being late are at the barber's more than an hour other than he's doing something wrong?
Yes, Your Honor. Also, one thing he does not know is that I have his location onto his phone. And he was at a certain area in our city where it's notoriously known for older gay men to go and roam for other sexual partners.
You just finding this out today?
Yes, I actually have, he's been trying to go through my phone and I've been catching him, so I actually had to put a password on.
So you said you put a password on your phone and
Yes.
you said in your statement you put some kind of app on there.
Yes.
What is that?
So the app takes pictures of you when you put in the wrong password to the phone.
And I'm going to assume you have several pictures of Mr. Cueva.
Yes, right there. Look how mad he looks.
So those are all photos of Mr. Cueva putting in the wrong password,
Yes.
trying to get in your phone?
Yes.
Mr. Cueva,
Your Honor.
you think wearing a hoodie is going to disguise yourself?
Your Honor,
When you're
if
trying
he
to
has
break
to go
in?
as far as download an app, there's only something that he's hiding.
How about you going as far as putting in his password multiple times trying to get into his phone? The C in CSI stands for Mr. Cueva. That's you.
I want to make sure that my man isn't doing me dirty, and I want to make sure that if he does, I know in advance so that I'm not left to be foolish.
That is not the way relationships work. He asked you to leave the home 2-3 weeks ago because you have become so hyper vigilant about catching him trying to do something before
Yes,
it ever happens that you have undermined everything in the relationship. He doesn't even want to be in the relationship anymore. Instead of trying to track his every move, you might have thought about just trusting him.
That is
Because so
true, yeah.
far, you haven't told me anything that Mr. De Silva has done that gives you any indication that he is out there cheating. And you wrote in your statement, you are not normally a nosy person. Now I want you to look at those photos again. Take a good look at them. Because if you look up nosy in the dictionary, you know what you're gonna see? Those photos.
Your Honor,
You.
I'm just trying to protect my heart and make sure that I have a faithful boyfriend.
Well, no one wants to be tracked and put on a time schedule down to the minute, sir, where they can't even make a pit stop on their way home from work. They can't be at the barber more than an hour. You're just jumping to all kinds of conclusions. You say you also have an issue with Mr. De Silva's cousin.
She just come in and out as she please and not give me not $1 for rent.
So you're sharing the space now with a third person. That is a lot.
She's my piece, you know? She's
Well,
just...
go to her apartment when you want a peace. You say you also have an issue with Mr. De Silva's cousin.
Your Honor, I feel like his cousin might actually be in love with him. She just wants to sit on our couch, eat up my food, use up my hair products, come in and out as she please, and not give me not $1 for rent.
Well, how
But
often
when-
is she there at the apartment?
I would say she's there about 4 to 5 days out of the week.
Really? She stays there 4 or 5 days out of the week?
Stays there, sleeps there, eats there.
And you've had a conversation with Mr. De Silva about this, sir? That is a lot of time for your cousin to be at the apartment. What's going on?
She's like my sister to me. I'm an only child, so she was literally with me when I had met him. and
Right, but
first
why does she
started
live
talking to him.
there 4 or 5 nights a week?
So sometimes she needs a place to stay, and I never want to.
Does she have her own place?
Yes.
What is her address? What is her address? Where does she live at? Because I don't think she has a home. I
She
think she
does.
thinks she could live at our house.
You've never been to her place?
No, I've never ever been invited to her place.
Why does she, I understand you have family, I understand she's like
The
a
lease is
sister to
in
you.
my name.
But you are in a relationship, the two of you are sharing space, so why is she there so much?
Because I feel like my home is her home. The lease is in my name, so.
But Mr. Cueva has expressed to you that she's there too much. Your name is on the lease, but the two of you have decided to live together and share the space. So you're sharing the space now with a third person 5 nights out of the week. That is a lot. It's too much.
She's my piece, you know. She's my go-to when he's
Well,
just.
go to her apartment when you want a peace.
Exactly.
Let me hear from you, Miss Hicks. Miss Hicks,
Yes.
please state your name and what is your relationship to the defendant.
My name is Sarah Hicks, and I'm Zach's cousin, but we're more like brothers and sisters. We're 6 days apart, and we grew up together since we were babies.
Why are you at the apartment 5 nights out of the week? Do you have somewhere else to live?
I do. I have my own apartment. I just like to be with my cousin because we're best friends.
Well, you're best friends. You guys can go to dinner and a movie. when you want to. But why are you staying over at their apartment 5 nights out of the week?
Because I'm not going anywhere. If my cousin lets me be at his house, I'm gonna be at his house whenever I want.
And that really is the key here, Mr. De Silva, because it is not up to Mr. Cuevea to set boundaries in your relationship with your cousin. So I think Mr. Cuevea raises a valid point. If you're gonna be there 5 nights out of the week, ma'am, why are you not contributing to the rent and the household bills?
Because I pay my own bills. I go there to see my cousin.
But you don't live at your own apartment. That's great that you pay bills at your own apartment, but you're living at this one 5 nights out of the week.
I'm not living there. I stay there a lot, and that's none of his business. He needs to stop treating Zach like a child.
It is his business because it is his apartment. It is absolutely his business.
Your Honor, how about the one time when I told her specifically that I wanted to have a candlelit dinner with my man? She was told to make sure she was not there. She was gonna go have her plans. I set up some candles, put some rose petals all over the bed. I got dinner ready. I knew that he was gonna be there at a certain time, so I jumped in the shower to freshen up. Can you believe by the time I get out of the shower, all I hear is Sarah's voice and Zach's voice laughing up a storm inside the living room, eating the food that I prepared.
It wasn't even that romantic.
Yeah, it was not that romantic. He's being dramatic. I was hungry. I wanted some food.
So he told you that he was making this plan, Ms. Hicks?
Yeah, and I was only there for an hour.
So you were there for an hour too long, because he told you he wanted to have this romantic dinner with Mr. De Silva, and the two of you are, according to your papers, there eating the food and watching the Housewives.
And we had a fun time doing it.
Your Honor, I actually found a text message inside this man's phone that blatantly shows Sarah trying to sabotage our relationship.
Miss Hicks, why are you giving out Mr. De Silva's number despite the fact that he's in a relationship?
Yeah, I don't care about his relationship.
If you'd like your case to be heard on divorce court, call us toll-free 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com. Miss the show? Watch full episodes on our streaming platforms and follow us on social media for exclusive content.
Your Honor, the real reason as to why she came that night is because she's purposely trying to sabotage our relationship. She wants him to cheat.
Why do you say that?
She does not want him with me anymore.
I don't.
Why
I
do
do
you say
not
that?
want them together. He is childish and controlling, and I think Zach deserves to be happy.
That is Mr. De Silva's decision. Actually, I don't know. I think you may be letting her make decisions for you.
No, definitely not.
Mr. De Silva.
Definitely
so,
not.
have you ever been in a relationship before this one?
No, this is my first.
This is your first relationship?
real relationship, yes.
Okay, so you are allowing Miss Hicks to give you a play-by-play, night-by-night as to how this relationship is going. She's dictating your relationship
No.
every day for you?
No.
Yes, she is. I'm telling you she is.
He's older than me.
You're gonna
Doesn't
end up
matter. He's
single and
a few
alone,
years.
like
He's
your
a few
cousin.
years older than you. You're still an adult.
But he shouldn't be acting like this. He should be acting way more matured.
No, he has a right. Listen, Mr. Cuevea has his issues. There's no question about that. But he's not wrong about this. He's right about this.
I don't think so.
Now, I don't know if this is your first relationship. Maybe Miss Hicks wants to continue to have you all to herself. So maybe she is sabotaging.
Your
What do you
Honor.
have as evidence?
Your Honor, I actually found a text message inside this man's phone. I got inside his phone. He left it in the bedroom while they were outside
course
in the
you
living
did.
room, as usual. Yes, I'm not gonna lie, I went through his phone and I literally see a text message that blatantly shows Sarah trying to sabotage our relationship.
Well, let
He
me
has
see
a
the text
boyfriend.
messages. So someone is texting you, Mr. De Silva, you're in the gray or the blue?
I'm in the blue.
So someone texts you, sup, how are
Yes.
you? You respond, my bad, who is this?
Yes.
This person says, I got your number from Sarah, what's good, pa? You respond, she didn't tell you I have a boyfriend? And this person responds, so, and sorry for the bother, cutie. So, Miss Hicks, why are you giving out Mr. De Silva's number to someone and asking them to contact him?
Because I want to hook my cousin up with somebody that I think is more fit for him.
Despite the fact that he's in a relationship and he's in a committed
Yeah,
relationship?
I don't care about his relationship with
Okay,
Adrian.
so it's not your business, and two, you're disrespectful. You have overstepped your boundaries in more than one way. And Mr. De Silva, I hold you responsible. You are letting her intrude into your relationship. Thank you, Ms. Hicks. So you can have a seat. By the way, do you have a boyfriend?
No.
Okay, I need you to get one. so you can get out of everybody else's relationship. What's going on with the dog?
It's my dog,
What
Your
happened?
Honor.
You're suing for the dog, sir.
Yes.
What's going on?
He just doesn't want to give me the dog. He thinks because he paid for a few vets. There goes my beautiful Tika. He thinks because he paid for a few vets visit and
Well, whose dog is it?
it's mine. He gifted it for me on my birthday.
So you admit you gave him the dog for his birthday?
Yes.
So you just want to take it back just because the two of you have broken up?
I pay for everything, you know?
You gave the dog to him as a gift, correct?
Yes.
Okay, I've heard enough.
But she's my baby.
Your Honor, I walked past the house in hopes that I could pick up my things, and I hear my poor dog inside by herself screaming and barking, no attention. I need that dog out of that house. That dog needs to be taken, exercised. He does not have that time to take care of the dog. Granted, he might have paid a few bills, but I will take care of it.
Why have you not let him back in the apartment to get his things?
Because I just want my peace.
Okay,
I told him that I will give it to him. I told him that, but he just insists on trying to come because he keeps wanting to take the dog. I won't let him.
I asked you, why have you not let him in the apartment to get his things? You say because you want your peace. You are causing more conflict in the relationship by not allowing him back in to get his things, and you have no right to keep him from getting his belongings. You can't kick him out and keep his stuff. You do understand that,
I told
right?
him I'll pack them for him. I don't want him to come back in the house. I'd
Well,
rather
you
do
don't.
it for him.
So then what you do, Mr. De Silva, is then you arrange for a meeting place. If you don't want him to come back into the apartment, you say your name is on the lease, then you arrange for a meeting place. You do not have a right to keep his things. Here's what is happening here. Listen, Mr. Cuevea, you're gonna have to learn. There are two things you'll never have to chase: true friends and true love. You insist on trying to chase love, and your way of doing that is self-protectionism, trying to stop yourself from being hurt before it can ever happen. Guess what happens in relationships? Sometimes you get hurt. Sometimes you experience rejection. That is a part of life. You cannot stop that from happening, because when you try to stop it, you stop yourself from living.
Understood, Your Honor.
You, sir, I understand you're 22 years old and this is your first relationship. Unless you get your cousin out of your personal life, this is gonna be your last. Because no one is going to put up with being in a relationship with you and Miss Hicks. He moved in with you. He did not move in with the De Silva family. The two of you are co-signing each other's issues with Mr. Cuevea, and it has made him feel completely and understandably marginalized in his home. Your cousin has told you here in court today she does not want you being with Mr. Cuevea. If that is what she's been saying throughout the relationship, you are allowing her to disrespect your relationship. And Miss Hicks has continued her behavior because she's empowered by you. You set no boundaries. Now, about the dog, I'm ordering you within 10 days of this court date to allow Mr. Cuevea to get his dog and his belongings from the apartment. If you need to set up a meeting place, you set up a meeting place. The dog belongs to him. By law, you gave the dog to him as a gift. It belongs to him. I'm ordering you to return the dog, and you have 10 days to do so. And Mr. Cuevea, you got to start you have to stop chasing people away.
Yes, Your
Because
Honor.
by being CSI and trying to catch them in the act before anything happens, are you going to be alone for a long time? It's going to be really you and that dog. Good luck to both of you.
Thank you, Your Honor. When it comes to Judge Faye's verdict, I'm actually very happy with it. I'm glad that I was able to get what I want. I came here for that, and just happy that I was able to win.
When it comes to my cousin, I don't agree with that at all, because I think that she should be welcome if I'm allowed to be there.
Well, if he wants to stay with his cousin for the rest of his life, he can do that. But in 10 days, I want to see my dog. Better see my dog in 10 days. That's all.
Goodbye. You'll never see me again.